This is a live reaction on a live stream with a live chat. Hello, chat. This is P.O.S. Little kids. And this thumbnail is wild. Just for the record, it's wild. The original's in the description down below. Give it a like, give it a comment. Make sure you support the artist. I never know what I'm getting into, especially on live streams. I do a lot of my reactions blind. So I don't do research, and I've only heard 2 of his songs prior to this. And so at this point, I have no idea what I'm in for. So let's go. It looks like it's going to be crazy. Let's go.
Baby, get about that water, cause every cast in the sand's by the falter. It's like the rock at Gibraltar, another sheep selfishly sent to the slaughter. Holler. It's gonna be one of those songs. Okay. He lives like an audition. He skipped his intuition, living like a nerve on feelings and superstitions. He swerves through facets and curves, through masses and passes a million dirty looks. He shuffles books. His every moment is staged, he feels he's plagued with this playwright who fails to give his character some insight. Oh, and every time he gets the cue to speak his mind, and the stage left an understudy steps on his lines. Not a word spoke, he goes unheard.
Okay. He's kind of saying he's doing this, whoever he's speaking on is doing the typical things, but then he's talking about how people basically he goes to speak his mind, and then the person steps on his lines. Like, he basically outstages him, or like, you know what I'm saying, when you're doing a play. That's what it makes me think of, because he said stage left, I think. When you do a play, and then the person whose lines it isn't, like, kind of overshadows you and kind of speaks over you and kind of takes over, and it's like the worst thing you can do to someone on stage.
To give his character some insight. Oh, and every time he gets the cue to speak his mind, and the stage left an understudy steps on his.
The cue to speak his mind. So the cue, it's his cue. So that means it's his turn to speak. Every time that he gets his cue to speak his mind.
Lines. And every time he gets the cue to speak his mind, and the stage left an understudy steps on his lines.
It's stage left and the understudy steps on his lines. So basically someone else comes in and, like, basically anyway, you get it. Theater bars.
Every time he gets the cue to speak his mind, and the stage left an understudy steps on his lines. Not a word spoke, he goes unheard. Is this a joke? His melodrama's now the theater of the absurd. It seems as often serendipity is the music comedy drama. Weathered and haggardly enters the music tragedy. Who changes script and change the block and change roles, pulls a gun from his bag and gets the.
Okay, so he's still in a theater scheme because he's talking about changing his block. But he's saying it 2 different ways. Changing his block, if you block out where your actors and your people are supposed to stand on stage. You block it out. It's like with tape or whatever. It's what's called blocking. And also change your block. So you try to change, like, your location in the real world in order to try to get out of your circumstance.
Who changes script and change the.
And the grip is obviously like stage hands, right?
Block and change roles, pulls a gun from his bag and gets to cocking. Pull the trigger at the kids who kept him as an outsider. Turns that shit on himself so we can finally meet his writer. Little kids. Okay.
Did you catch that? He wants to aim it at the people who kept him as an outsider, but he turns it on himself so he could meet his writer. His writer, see, we're back on the theatrical stuff, right? His writer is God. The person who made him, who wrote his script, who wrote who he is.
That shit on himself so we can finally meet his writer. Little kids. Okay. Little kid walks out in the street, man behind the wheel, looks to change under the seat. Little girl belly empty, she holds strong. Woman gives up hope, says it's been too long. Peace, love, unity, respect. Party's over, dancing with a needle in his neck. Bright eyes, then dark when dad comes home. Pretends to count sheep so that she'll be left alone.
Okay, come on. These are like all these really screwed up situations he's talking about. He talks about the little girl goes across the street. The guy's looking for change. So obviously the potential to get run over right there. Mom gives up because it's been too long, you know, counting sheep so you can pretend you're asleep, or all these things.
When dad comes home, pretends to count sheep so that she'll be
because he's scared of dad. So dad comes home and you pretend to count sheep so you can pretend to be asleep because you're afraid. So he'll leave you alone. Whether it be afraid from either gender perspective.
left alone. She only did for money once or twice. Said he learned the true meaning of Minnesota nice. Turn the villain sea breeze, fixed his head. Mother shakes and screams, tries to wake the dead. Little kids live on incomplete. Little kids trip without the prospect of a peak. Steady coming down from a low. Little kids stay little kids cause growing up is gone. She was always well dressed, well groomed, well known. But she hid behind the canvas the second she got home. She loved to paint, nothing in particular, just blues and grays. That's how she felt throughout her days. Her landscape was shaped by friends and hangers-on. From boys to the push-up bras they pulled on. But she was always very wary, cause popularity's scary, especially with sincerity rarely comes in clearly. To her it was all fake, mock life, mock friends. She wanted to paint it white and start again. She wrote letters to her little brother and mother and packed up her stuff. Then she ran like watercolors. Now a little change to see.
Of course, there's an artist scheme in here. He's not making it very, I mean, he's referring to it, but he's not going in as hard with that. He's talking about, you know, her blues and grays, which is her mood. He's talking about how she wants to paint it white. She writes the letter so that she can get out.
Packed up her stuff. Then she ran like watercolors. Now a little change of scenery never hurt nothing but still life, but still life.
And you see, he's talking about landscapes and scenery. So and scenery also goes back to the theater thing. I might be reaching, but I don't think so. I think everything is kind of like when you're in that mindset, when you're writing, you're kind of like on a roll, right? You end up on a roll, and these related subjects just pop up. That's what happens with good lyricists. It just is. It is what it is.
Watercolors now, a little change of scenery never hurt nothing but still life, but still life's been everything but real for her, right? Without a clue, she's like without a clue, so like she don't know who she's like. Know what I mean?
Oh,
she
I
found
do.
a crew she like started up new, but the only thing that's left of her is the paint on her jeans, so she'll be gone soon. Walks out in the street, man behind the wheel looks for change in the seat. Little girl belly empty, she holds strong. Woman gives up hope, says it's been too long. Peace, love, unity, respect. Party's over, dancing with a needle in his neck. Bright eyes, steady dark when dad comes home. Tends to count sheep so that she'll be left alone. She only did for only once or twice. Said he learned the true meaning of Minnesota nice. Turn the villain sea breeze fixed in his head. Mother shakes and screams, tries to wake the dead. Little kids live on incomplete. Little kids trip without a prospect of a peak. Said he coming down from a low home. Little kids stay little kids cause growing up is gone.
Now baby get up out that water, cause every cast in the sand's bound to falter. It's like the rock of Gibraltar. Another sheep selfishly sent to the slaughter. Holler, get up out that water, cause every cast in the sand's bound to falter. It's like the rock of Gibraltar. Another sheep selfishly sent to the slaughter. Holler, get up out that water, cause every cast in the sand's bound to falter. It's like the rock of Gibraltar. Another sheep selfishly sent to the slaughter. Holler, get up out that water, cause every cast in the sand's bound to falter. It's like the rock of Gibraltar. Another sheep selfishly sent to the slaughter. Holler.
I like that in the background. Oh, I love those ad-libs in the background. I liked it even better without the shots. Like they were doing the he was doing that, but they had the in the background. But then this last part of the part of the bridge out, he didn't have that. Anyway, I like that. That was really good, I think. It's just something that everybody needs to hear once, just to kind of understand that, like, this is how shit happens, man. That's how it happens. People get, and see, there, it kind of, if you think about it, doing that atmosphere song and then doing this one, there is a big difference between people having bad behavior and blaming it on something else and making excuses when you're an adult. But when you are a child, it is a completely different story, because it is your parents' responsibility to take care of you, to guide you, to lead you, and to be there for you. Now, don't get me wrong, there are situations where the kids completely go nutso and they're defiant and they just absolutely won't. Like, they're going to do their thing. I understand that there are, you know, situations like that. But in general, you know, a lot of these situations, a lot of these problems come from not so great parents. And I'll stand on that hill. I'll die on that hill. I mean it. Like, people parent your fucking kids. Be there for them. I mean, sometimes that's all it takes, is pay attention to them. Tell them that you love them. Make sure that they know that they're important, that they're your favorite person. Even if it's multiple kids, you're my favorite people. You know, even if you have to work all the time, just make sure that they know that they're loved no matter what. Anyway, you shouldn't live a life separate from your children. When they live in the same house as you, it's just wild to me. But these situations, these circumstances were actually pretty sad, to be honest. That being said, the original's in the description down below. Tell me what you thought. What did you get out of this? Have you heard this before? Tell me your take and your thoughts. Put that in the comments below. Make sure that you click on the video in the description and make sure you show love to this artist. He will be tagged below, as well as the song, the video itself, or the audio. You know what I mean? Super awkward, unprofessional outro. I hope you enjoyed that. I did. I really like da, 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 da. I don't know why. I just do. All right, I'm on to the next